how do you even start an online store? Hey boutique owner and other e-commerce friends, with a special shout out today to those gals that are thinking about starting their very first shop. Today, we're going to chat about how to start your Shopify site in less than 20 minutes. This is actually a question I get asked a lot, like how do you even start an online store? So I wanted to run through some basics. And even if you've been doing this for a while and you're like, yeah, I know my way around, maybe there's some things in here for you too, boo. So listen up. Let's take a look at what you need to launch your Shopify site. P.S. If you like what you're hearing and seeing, be sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications so you never miss a thing. Okay, so let's just dive right in. Let's start with some quick Shopify 101. Really, the question here is why Shopify, right? So the first reason is it is extremely user-friendly compared to other platforms. And this is in terms of both setup and just back end. So to keep up with uploading products and just all the things that you need to do, it really is super user friendly. Next is that there are so many amazing apps and integrations that work with Shopify. This is really important because if you're on a platform, for example, that doesn't connect to very many or any email platforms, then you're really missing out on a ton of cool email marketing features that you could be utilizing in terms of like e-commerce automations and, gathering your subscribers when they check out to go right to your email list, things like that. Or, things like payment plan options like Sezzle. Loyalty programs, review programs, just literally the apps and integrations are endless. Like I could go on all day about it, but Shopify really is the most robust in my opinion in terms of the sheer amount of different apps and integrations that you can use. And maybe that doesn't matter today, but as your business grows, you're going to want to utilize certain things in terms of the strategies that you're trying to implement in your business. So it's going to be important later. Okay, it's also all inclusive. So what does that mean? Well, not only can you do your online store, but you can sell via a card reader and an iPad or your phone, from a boutique truck or at a fair, in a booth. Or you can run your whole point of sale like a brick and mortar storefront using Shopify, and it can all be integrated. Now, what's cool here too is, speaking of integrations, to back up for a second, if you are using a different point of sale, there are several third-party options to link them in terms of the inventory. So, like if you're using an absolutely love Square or Lightspeed for your point of sale, you can easily use a third party. Now it'll cost you monthly, but there are third party programs that can be set up so that your inventory can still match. You can keep the POS you love, but have and enjoy the benefits of Shopify for your website itself. So, but to get back to all inclusive, you don't need to do all of that. Shopify actually has everything in house. And not only that, but Shopify acts as your inventory manager. You can gather reports, and even keep track of things like your cost of goods right in Shopify. You manage your shipping right from Shopify and your orders. All of that can be done right from Shopify. Or chances are, if you have another platform that you love, it'll integrate. Obviously, check that out before you get started and everything. But and we're always happy to chat about that too. But anyway, okay. The other thing I love about it is, especially when you're just starting out, it's definitely very low cost. It starts at just $29 a month, and that really covers a lot of people's needs. When you may want to start jumping up to $79, for example, is, when you're really starting to hit like say 15,000 monthly sales revenue processed through Shopify payments in particular. What I mean by that is you may have 15,000 in sales, but if it's coming in through different payment processing options like Shopify, PayPal, Sezzle, it's 15,000 run through Shopify, that it's actually worth it to just go ahead and upgrade to the 79 because you save a little bit of a percentage on the payment processing. But anyway, Most people are just fine to start with the $29 per month, and you can just grow as your business needs to and as it makes sense. The last reason is great support. So, they have a chat option, they have a phone number that you can call, or, if you work directly with us, we're not necessarily the, super urgent, get a hold of us any time of night or day support, but we're always happy to help past clients or guide them in the right direction. So there's just a lot of support available for you with Shopify. And also, if you have boutique owner friends, or e-commerce friends, what have you, Shopify is just so prevalent that chances are somebody will have that platform and be able to help you, versus if you were using some obscure platform or just, even a platform that just isn't quite as popular, you're going to run into trouble finding designers to help you build it. You're going to, run into trouble finding just any support, or even finding a virtual assistant to do basic things like product uploads. So using a popular platform means that you're going to have more access to support. Okay, so the next question, where do you start? So the first thing that you want to do is sit down with a notebook or, on Google Drive, on Google Docs on your computer, and come up with your game plan and your goals. If this is really a brand new shop from nothing, what is the shop name? What are you going to be selling? Who is your ideal customer? What are your goals with this business? What do you really want to bring in revenue wise and profit wise? And then think bigger here too, because it really helps to know, if your goal is to leave your day job within 1 year, write that down. You know what I mean? Understand what your bigger picture and long-term goals are, as well as short-term, before you even get started with all of this. It'll just really help guide your decisions. Number 2, pretty easy, sign up for Shopify. So just go to shopify.com, sign up for the free trial, and get started. Number 3 is set up your account. So this is going to be things like, for these next couple, let me go ahead and just show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so I am in our Hot Mess demo account, and I'm just going to show you what I am talking about by account setup. So before you even get to designing and setting up your theme itself, which is what somebody actually sees right on the front end when they, if I could type that in correctly, when they go to your website. So before you even get to this part, you're going to start with setting up your account. So the first thing is you're going to go to settings, and you're pretty much going to click on almost all of these and just set up what you need to. So in general, you're going to just make sure that your name and address is all correct here. And then payments, you're going to go ahead and set up your payment options. Again, well, not again, but I always recommend this. So I recommend activating Shopify payments and PayPal, because you don't want to lose out on a sale just because a potential customer doesn't have their card right next to them, but they may be able to log into PayPal. So the 3 that I would recommend doing is Shopify payments, PayPal, and Sezzle. But if you can start with these 2, that would be great. You do need a business PayPal account first. So make sure that your PayPal account is set to business, or go ahead and just change that over. Shipping, you're going to want to go in here and set up your shipping settings. What are your rates going to be? I recommend $5 flat rate free over a certain threshold, like 50 or 100, but it's totally up to you. So you would just manage rates. You also want to delete international shipping if you're not going to be doing that, or figure out a rate for that as well. And then you don't have to worry about taxes. It's going to be based on your address. In the very rare instance will the taxes not be calculating right, in which case you might need to set up a tax override in here, but right out the gate you should not have to do anything with it or worry about it. Locations is just going to be if you manage multiple storefront locations. Otherwise you can leave that alone as well. And then legal, you're going to want to come in here and type up your refund policy, I would include your shipping terms in there too. Actually, this That's right. This has both. So your shipping policy and your refund policy, which is great for you to have those laid out front. Your privacy policy, you're going to replace with template. And I'm not going to do that right now, but you would normally do that. And same with terms of service. And then you're going to hit save. And then you are going to, that's pretty much it for here. So the other things that you need to do before you get into the nitty gritty of your theme setup and making it all pretty and everything is you're going to want to go to products, collections, add the different collections for the items that you're going to have. So for example, the tops, bottoms, outerwear, dresses, accessories. You can also do shop by size collections. I have a blog. If you go to hotmessblog.com, you can find how to set up the shop by size menu in particular. I go over it step by step. So, but anyway, you're going to want to add all your collections. I recommend automated collections, but check that out. And obviously, like, this is just a very brief how to quickly set up your account. So, you know, I do also offer the DIY workshop where we really drill into each thing. And then also on the blog, hotmessblog.com, there are some things that I dig into deeper. But I just want to give you the overview of everything that you need to do so you know you're not missing anything important. So you're going to go to collections and do all of that. Then you're going to go to products and you're going to add your products, whatever products you're going to be launching with, and make sure that you sort them into the right collections. And then you are going to put together your menus. So you're going to go to navigation. You're going to make sure that you have set up your main menu as well as whatever you want in your footer menu. And then, so that's pretty much the setup. So the next thing is going to be choosing a theme. So if you're going to go to theme, after your page, you know what, actually, before you set up your menus, you're going to want to do your pages. So if you go in here, so that's like about us. We usually do about us, contact us, shipping, returns, and sizing chart. Then once your pages are all made, then you can go to your navigation and complete all of your menus. Then you can go to themes, and you can either choose a free theme just to get you started, or you can visit the theme store. There's also outofthesandbox.com that has some great options. So anyway, you're going to find and add the theme that you want to use. For free theme, I definitely recommend starting with minimal. So once you have chosen the theme, you're going to hit customize, and this is where you're going to get into the nitty gritty of building your theme. You're going to notice that the theme is in sections. So you can add section, you can hide section, you can delete section, and you just are going to want to play around with what sections are available and how you want this to look, and you know, how you want to set this up. So you want to kind of consider the layout of your homepage. Also under header is where you're going to be able to do things like plug in the logo, plug in the appropriate menu. Same thing with under here, you can't see it, but is footer. So that's where you can make sure that you have whatever your footer is plugged in. Anyway, so you're going to just lay out. So there may be some graphic design needed. You know, obviously, like, we use Illustrator for our clients, but, you know, even Canva, you can create some great graphics. And I recommend like a main banner, a row of new arrivals, your collections, and then a call to action to something else that you would like them to do, whether that's join your Facebook group, join your text club, whatever the case may be. So, in a nutshell, that is how you would quickly set up your Shopify account as well as your theme. So once you have all that done, the next thing is just to go live, girl. And, you know, don't worry about if everything is absolutely freaking perfect, because there's just no such thing. There just isn't. So go live and deal with whatever comes up from there. And then next, you may be asking, well, what comes after all of this? I'm glad you asked. So the first thing is, once you're totally live, do a customer journey test. What I mean by this is, from both desktop and mobile, go to your own website. Take a good look at the homepage. Is there anything wrong? Is there anything wonky that needs to be fixed? If so, fix it. Then, you know, add an item to cart. go like you're going to check out. Literally get to the very end of the checkout process. Don't necessarily check out, but although what you could do is create a discount code. So that's just on your main dashboard in Shopify, you'll see discounts for 100%, and you can just literally place a test order, because then you'll see also the emails that are coming to you when you do an order. So you'll really know what that process is for the customer, and then see if there is any step in the process that could be made easier or isn't clear, or there was a mistake that you made or something that you missed. Like, check that all out. And again, do this on desktop and mobile. And yeah, so then website and branding optimization. If you go to boutiquewebsiteaudit.com, you'll actually get to my other blog about exactly like several things that you can work on. Like, once you have the basics up, this is a list of things that you can work on to really optimize your website. Why does this matter? Well, I know I'm just referring you to all kinds of other blogs here, but if you go to boutiquetrafficcalculator.com, you'll hit my website traffic calculator, and you'll see how big of a difference a conversion rate can make to your bottom line. What a conversion rate is, right, is of the people that visit your site, what percentage actually buy. And another thing for you to know is that the average is only like 2%. So you need a ton of visits to your website. But if you're getting visits, or once you're getting visits, you want to make sure that your website is optimized too, in order to increase that conversion rate as much as you possibly can. So you want to make sure that you're doing everything in your power on your website to make sure that that customer actually follows through with their purchase. And I say website and branding optimization because there's lots of little details on your website that you can optimize that have nothing to do with the look or aesthetic necessarily of your branding, but branding is also important on its own. So, is it attractive and professional? Is it calling in the right ideal customer type? You know what I mean? Like, if your branding is really, really subpar, but you're trying to sell high-end items, for example, that's not going to jive. And vice versa. If you're actually trying to work on selling in volume at lower cost items, then your branding should attract those sort of customers, right? Okay, so next is, or at any point in the process, is your analytics setup. So you want to get your Facebook pixel set up, as well as your Google Analytics. And this is so that if and when you're ready, like maybe you're not ready right now, but you'll have the data in place to refer back to for just optimizing everything. So like, the pixel is going to help you if you ever run Facebook ads, for example. And with Google Analytics, there's definitely a little bit of a setup there beyond just, it's not like just, create the account and plug it into Shopify. There's a little bit more to it if you really want to dig into the data, but at least having that set up and ready to go is the first step. And then if and when you're ready to dive into your analytics and you know what your goals are and what you're wanting to do with them, or if you work with a professional that can help you with that, it'll be ready. And then, of course, your marketing and content strategy. So like I just said, if you go to boutiquetrafficcalculator.com, you'll see just how stinking many website hits you need per day, per month to really bring in a decent amount of revenue with your boutique or e-commerce brand. So how are you going to drive that traffic? Posting a couple of times on social media, once a week, even once a day, not really going to do much. So you need to sit down and really come up with a plan in terms of where are you going to be posting and promoting, how often, what sort of content. And then you also need a plan for evaluating how your marketing is going and how are you going to adjust to improve it. So obviously some possible options are social media, but get more specific. Okay, Facebook and Instagram you're going to focus on first. Okay, but Facebook, are you going to do a group or page, personal page, combination? And then are you going to do emails? And again, just really dig into the details here. Actually, I have another blog for this one too. If you go to boutiquemarketingstrategy.com, I believe Let me just make sure about that one on my phone here. I swear one night I was like just going domain crazy and I was buying all of these domains thinking like, oh, this will make it so easy, which it is. It is nice. But I just wanted to make it easy for you guys to find what you're looking for. So yeah, boutiquemarketingstrategy.com will run you through more of the how-to in terms of creating this marketing content strategy. So anyway, there you have it. So that's pretty much the long and short of it when it comes to getting started with Shopify and how to launch. It's such an exciting time when a new store launches, but we know it can be pretty nerve-wracking too. If you need some help getting started or even making over your current store, head on over to hotmesshustle.com and check out our Done For You packages or our DIY website workshop if that's more your jam. I hope you've got a ton of value out of this today. If you've got a top takeaway, I'd love if you share it in the comments. And if you have any other questions about Shopify or e-commerce in general, I'd love to help. If you like this content and want to hear more, again, be sure to hit subscribe and turn on the notifications. That's all for now, boo. See you next time. Need more? Check out the blog at hotmessblog.com. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel too. Cheers!